have our third team of challengers. Now, would you please listen again, panel, while I read this affidavit. My name is Edward J. Crosby. I am married and the father of 4 children, including a set of twins. Part of my income depends on the weather, since I work for a company which specializes in making rain by artificial means. A number of years ago, I wrote a biography of my brother. The title of the book was Bing Crosby. I swear the above statement is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Signed, Edward J. Crosby.
Stay tuned. There's more Black and White Overnight coming right up.
All right, these 3 people all claim to be Edward J. Crosby, who wrote a book about his brother called Bing Crosby. Now, you'll each question till you hear the signal as usual. This time we'll start with John Cameron Swayze. John?
Number 2, what's Bing Crosby's real name?
Harry Lillis Crosby.
What's the name of the golf tournament he sponsors on the Pacific Coast?
I think the Bing Crosby tournament.
Number 1, what's the name of that tournament?
It's at Pebble Beach.
Did he play this year?
No.
Number 2, did he play this year?
I don't think so.
Number 2, was he ever with Paul Whiteman?
Oh, yes.
Did he do a single?
No, he was part of the trio.
Who were the other members?
Harry Barris and Al Rinker.
What was Bing's theme song as he rose to fame? Number 1.
The Blue of the Night.
What about his golf score? What kind of a game did he play?
He shoots about par.
Is he better than Bob Hope?
I would say so, yes.
Hildy Parks.
Number 3, where do you live?
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
And how do you make artificial rain? Is it war paint and dancing around a fire or what?
No, the principle on which you manufacture rainfall is the introduction of a chemical concoction called silver iodide into a cloud formation, and this causes the moisture in the atmosphere to congeal either into snowflakes or raindrops.
Now all we got to do is figure out how to stop it, huh? Number 1, where do you live?
Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Cambridge, Massachusetts? Did you ever spend any time in California at all?
No.
Where does your brother live?
Which brother?
Mr. Crosby, Bing.
Bing? Well, he lives in about 4 different places. He has a house in Carmel, a ranch up at Hayden Springs in Idaho, one at Elko, Nevada, and a home in West Los Angeles.
Thank you.
Hi, Gardner.
Number 3, is that your own hair? Is that your own hair?
Yes, sir, I have a family failing. It's fast disappearing, but...
Of course, I don't know if any of the other Crosbys have any. Do you help bring rain to the east? For instance, several years ago when we had a drought, was your firm the one that did the job?
No, I'm with a firm called the Weather Modification Company in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and we've only recently had some success out there. We got a little snowfall after the president came in on his inspection.
Did Gene Fowler or Pete Martin write a biography on Bing as well as you?
Pete Martin wrote one that was very successful called Call Me Lucky.
How many...
Sorry, hi. Polly Bergen.
Number 2, could you tell me where Bing Crosby's twins are stationed?
No, I don't.
Number 3, could you tell me?
I'm not sure about that. You know, they go into basic training and they move, and this has recently taken place in their case.
I see. Do you know whether they're in the United States?
I'm not at all sure of that.
Number 1, do you know where the twins are stationed?
No.
Number 3, could you tell me, are you Mr. Crosby's business manager? Do you work for Bing in any way?
Bing's business manager is our second oldest brother, Everett, and he lives up in Poughkeepsie, New York now, but he keeps his hand in the Crosby Enterprises, Inc.
Well, time now for one final question, and the first one of those will come from John.
Number 2, what one of your nephews, Bing's sons, appears most likely to follow in his footsteps in show business?
I think Gary, probably.
Hildy?
Number 3, I know that Mr. Crosby has investments in a number of concerns. What food concern did he go into quite some time ago that was rather successful?
Well, he has a chunk of very nice orange juice called Minute Maid.
I thank you.
Hi, what's your final?
Number 1, what was the original name of the trio in which Bing sang?
The Rhythm Boys.
And a final one from Polly.
Number 3, what record company does Mr. Crosby record for?
I think he's the prop on which Decca stands.
Thank you.
All right, time to vote. So, panel, please mark your ballots for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. May I have the ballots, please? Polly Bergen votes this time for number 3. John Cameron Swayze selected number 2. Hildy Parks picked number 3. Hy Gardner voted for number 3. And I hope you friends at home have put your thinking caps on and done either guessing or voting, as the case may be. The facts are in. The ballots are cast. Let's find out. Will the real Edward J. Crosby please stand? Now, number 1, let's find out about you. Who are you really, sir, and what do you do?
I am Captain R.B. Moore, the commanding officer of the USS Saratoga.
Unless I miss my guess, Captain, the USS Saratoga is the largest warship in the world, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Oh, that's quite a responsibility. Number 3, who are you really?
Colonel Barney Oldfield, United States Air Force of the Continental Air Defense Command in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and the only thing I have in common with Edward J. Crosby is that I also wrote a book.
You are an author also. What is the name of your book, sir?
It's one called Never a Shot in Anger.
Never a Shot in Anger.
Available in great quantities right now.
How long has it been out on the market?
About 2.5 months, sir.
Huh? Well, I'd like to ask you one question. Apparently the panel doesn't have any, but I'm real curious. Are you, maybe you've been asked this countless times, are you any relation to the original Barney Oldfield?
I was named for him. When I was 4 years old, I met him, and he told me that certainly in the future people would always ask me if I was a relative, and he said there were so few Oldfields it was safe to say that we were cousins.
Oh.
Well, I hope you've had... Yes, you have a
I'd
question?
just like to ask the captain one question. Is it true that Bing Crosby owns a piece of the Saratoga?
Well, he's trying to answer that. Let's see what happened here now. There were 3 incorrect votes worth $250 each, which means, gentlemen, a total of $750 from Geritol. Thank you very much and good luck. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for tonight, so good night, panel.
Good night.
Good night. And until next week, this is Bud Collier reminding you to tell the truth. Good night.
Travel arrangements for To Tell the Truth are made through American Airlines. American Airlines flies our contestants in luxurious comfort aboard DC-7 flagships. To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Cogden production in association with the CBS Television Network.
Your pet's same